This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Oh, no. See, it's just a random shirt that says cat on it. You guys screwed up. It's I don't know, it's some kind of a blue. Some sort of a blue color. Okay, there you go. So I did want to say one more thing about the Whack Job YouTube channel out there is I think it's really disgusting when you start attacking like a wife of a creator. My wife had nothing to do with anything that is going on. That you know, she doesn't even I mean, she doesn't even watch the show that much. Okay, but to sit there and call her a mail order bride merely because she's Asian makes every one of you on that channel a racist that are commenting on that. And if you believe that, you're a racist too, because that means that you are merely thinking that because she is Asian, Filipino, right? And I just think it's really disgusting. Now, here's the thing. That same wacko YouTuber, if I started blasting his wife over and over again, calling her all kinds of names and this and that and the other thing, he would do the murder threats that he always does. Oh, I'll be there with the white glove, you know, like Michael Jackson, probably the same ilk. So, you know, it's just really disgusting, and I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't know what to say. Society is just so depraved at this point. I mean, you got people like that are just so disgusting. His entire follower base are absolute disgusting moron people, and you can just see it in their comments. Unbelievable. And that's just that's a reality, not just sort of a thought. It's a reality. It's truth. All right. So you know, he's a really small channel with a ravenous little group of people, but that's all it's ever going to be. He's a joke. Okay. He's not a serious YouTuber at all. He's an embarrassment to mankind. Hey, thank you, Kristen Cure. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely disgusting, you know. Yeah, especially when you start reading the comments, you know. They don't have a clue what the hell they're talking about.
I guess green. Done.
Oh, you guessed green. You were wrong. Yeah. It's just it's unreal, you know. I mean, just the comments people make. You know, it just shows you what I actually think's going on, though. I think there's a lot of bot accounts, fake accounts, because if you have a video with 1,000 views and you have 250 comments, and they're all just like, you know, glowing comments. All the negative ones are removed. I know that for a fact. So he, you know, there's no way you'd have a glowing comment. Great research when it's all bogus. Every single thing are bogus. So that's another reality. There's nothing truthful at all in any of the videos about anything. You know, every one of them has another answer that's the answer and not what's more likely. All right. Let's see. Oh, you said tie-dye? Yeah, that wasn't right. Yeah, but You know, creators' family members should be off limits. But see, this is the type of creator that when he loses an argument, attacks somebody's physically or something about their personality or something like that. He can't argue on the merits. Like, if I make a video, he can't argue against any of the facts that I put in it. For example, when he plagiarized A Time to Kill, he didn't, he couldn't argue against it. He tries to make a comment here and there, but when you have cries at the exact same moment as the actual movie, it tells a different story. I think everybody with a rational mind realizes it, except for your wacko followers. Now, he's also now going to do Patreon when he absolutely eviscerated anybody else who has a monetized channel. It's exactly the same thing. Patreon's just another avenue instead of using YouTube. Okay, it's like a parlor trick. Oh, those assholes making money on YouTube. Hey, how about you? Would you sign up for my Patreon account though, everybody? If I do Patreon, would you sign up for it? I mean, those people on YouTube though. I mean, what a bunch of. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? The logic there. Unreal. All right. So anyways, what I thought we'd do for at least, maybe a couple hours, if not, if everybody wants to keep going on it, but like to try to figure out exactly what in the hell's going on here, because they're not really giving us a lot to work with in this case. So I thought what we'd do is listen to that interview again with Sammy, because she's virtually the only person from the party that's talking about anything. I mean, it's like, that's it, right? So we'll listen to that again. There's a few different articles with timelines out there. Adventures with Purpose. I always thought it was Adventures with a Purpose, but it's just Adventures with Purpose is heading out there to see what they can do and help. They normally do cold cases and try to find cars in bodies of water in cases where that seems likely, like the person and the car is missing. Hey, thank you guys. The Velvet Army. Jen Allison. Kathy Friedenmaker. And Claire Mack. Yeah. And we were talking about it the other day. It's probably like, we were thinking that the phone call was earlier, and they, what if Sammy, when she says 12:36, is actually 12:26? Doesn't that make more sense? Because I did email Brian Joe's favorite person in the world, and she did reply, and she wrote, this second. Let me go get the answer was, she didn't do my follow-up one, but Angela Musalam, she said, "Hi Gray, thank you for reaching out. Our detectives are still working through the timeline." I mean, it's amazing to be this late and not have a really good timeline. Regarding, let's see, excuse me, we can't get into any specifics other than what we have released online. I have included, no, that's somebody else. That was the first guy that I emailed. She said, "Our detectives are still working through the timeline, but our investigation shows the last time Kiely's phone was on," so they're saying it when it was turned on. It doesn't sound like it went dead. I mean, I don't know. See, that's the thing. Sometimes people just say things a certain way. Because there are ways, apparently, that you can detect it if it was turned off or it went dead. But she said the last time Kiely's phone was on was at 12:33 a.m. on August 6th. Okay, so if it wasn't on, that means that Sammy couldn't have received the phone call that was live with a voices in the background at 12:36. So it's likely that she's just saying the wrong time. I mean, she's not going to make something like that up. because law enforcement would be able to prove or disprove it, right? So you'd look really crappy right off the bat. So what you have to look at is that you made a call did come in, but what if it was 12:26? 26 instead of 36. And then that makes all the sense in the world, doesn't it? That there's a call that comes in, and then right after that, 7 minutes later, her phone goes dead. And maybe at that moment she got into her car after talking to Sammy, realizing, oh shit, she doesn't need a ride anymore. I got to get home, because she's got to be home at 12:30. So 12:27. I mean, she's got to book it out of there, because it takes probably 15-20 minutes to get home, and she'll be a little late now. So now she's going to be hauling ass, but she's been drinking, and then it might explain. But then why would if her phone was literally turned off, that changes things. Like if law enforcement tells us, see, that's another question that you don't see people asking at the press conferences. They don't say, hey, let me ask you something. When was the phone actually turned off, or did it go dead? And see if they clarify. No, it was actually physically turned off. That's the signature that we got. See, that would make a big difference, right? Like, why would you actually turn off the phone if you were her? You wouldn't, unless you were wondering if your mom was still trying to, find my phone app to see where you really were, and you didn't want her to know, or something like that, right? That would be a reason to turn off the phone. I mean, that's sort of another interesting element, right? Like, you turn off the phone so that, you're a little bit late and your mom won't be able to detect where you're at. Thank you, Mrs. Ryan. Yeah, I think I've heard that they can detect that. I just don't know 100%. Let's look that up really quick. Can
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Let's see. Can law enforcement track someone's? Let me see what this one says. My phone battery is dead. Can the police still track my phone? What is the most user-friendly, easy-to-use project man? I don't know what that means. The answer is clearly a no. If your phone has no power, it's simply dead. Right, that's obvious. Tracing cell phones are, that question's obvious there. And there's this really weird post going around. Like, everybody's like, ooh, 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 ooh. The father said that if they had the car, they would, if they could just find the car, they believe it would lead to more answers. And it's like, yeah, I think everybody with a brain would know that finding the car would actually lead to more answers. I don't know how that starts a conversation at all. It's like, yeah, of course, Thank you, Kristen Cure. Let's see. Phone turned off or battery died. Is that going to give me something? Oh, there you go. How can I find if a phone was turned off intentionally or ran out of battery? If it was turned off, most likely there's still some battery capacity left. Just try to turn the phone on. As mentioned in other answers, attempting to turn the phone back on. Okay. I'm just wondering if it has a different signature to a tower or something. If it was turned off. Thank you, Alifair M up there. Well, if anybody gets an answer to that, let me know. You always hear people say that, yeah, they can tell the difference. I don't know, though. And the thing is, if a phone went underwater, it immediately goes dead, right? Like, it doesn't go dead, but it has the appearance of going dead. Because there's absolutely no phone pinging going on when the phone gets underwater. I mean, I've even tried that with a, like you have a GoPro camera that's got Wi-Fi on it, and as soon as you put it underwater, boom, you completely lose the connection. I mean, I know it's a different technology, but it is what it is. Oh, you got your notebook? Sweet. Man, that took a while. Today I just delivered 13 more notebooks, and when I sent them, the lady in there, it was just really frustrating because her machine every single time would jam. So she always had to pull it back out, cut the tape off, put it back, and she was so frustrated. And it was probably because it was too warm in there, so then I held the fan up to try to help it work. And I don't know, I felt bad for her, and the people in line, but, it wasn't her fault, just the way the machine is. Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a water-resistant phone. The signal won't make it out of the water. Yeah, the phone could be absolutely turned on at the bottom of the lake. It's not going to be sending a signal anywhere. Why do I need to read your comment? Oh, you mean in your message? I have over 25 years teaching I thought it read it out loud. Oh, I had it turned on. I have over 25 years teaching high school. There's no way that many teens could keep a secret. Well, they are, though. I mean, there was 200 people there. They're just not telling anybody. They're all scared. Apparently, there was a bunch of people over the age of 20, like late 20s there. One of the articles I have says that they were giving free drugs to people. I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? Yeah, I mean, anybody else have it? I thought it was reading them. Yeah, it's cool that you're a teacher, but it doesn't mean that kids aren't telling it. That they're keeping it to themselves. I think they're scared. There's some element that was there, and they're all skeptical. And when you say secret, maybe they don't have a secret, too, right? They maybe saw her there, but they don't know. They didn't notice anything. Everybody's kind of drunk. I mean, here's the thing. That's another benefit of them giving out drugs to all these people. You give drugs to all these people, and all of a sudden, nobody's going to remember anything, and everybody's just kind of out of it when they do something nefarious, like take somebody, if that's what happened, right? Change. I think I have it set too long here for the weight. Yeah. There we go. Should be better now for the wait time. I think I accidentally had it set later. Yeah, well, they didn't. It was just a party. They don't do like chaperones at parties at a lake. And everybody, by the way, put out positive vibes for Lillian. She's in pain with her knees and everything. So if you guys can give Lillian some positive vibes, that'd be awesome. Okay, let's listen to this one. And we've done it before. We played this like 5 or 6 days ago. And this is, remember, All American Dream Chaser channel. The link's in the description. But this time I'm going to have like a notebook on the side here. Or not a notebook, but a text file. And we'll just kind of, everything that's sort of important, we'll write down here. Alright. Yeah, well, it's summertime, Kristen, so that's probably why they're not talking to a teacher. All right, here we go.
Around the party, we would break off for mere moments from each other to go talk to other people, or
Right, maybe there was more at the beginning. I don't know. Maybe a little bit.
we ended up not going together.
Oh, I think there must have been more then. Oh, weird. Okay, hold on now. I've got to fix it.
Party with her?
Yes, I was the last person to contact her after the party, and I was with her basically throughout the entire.
I don't know why it's cut. I cut off so much of it. It's weird. Okay, there we go. Right here. There we go.
And it's an honor. It's a privilege to have you. I'm sorry for the circumstances, but I know you're super busy.
Yeah, so just from my perspective, I don't have any feelings that this girl has something to do with the disappearance, okay? Now, I know that's what everybody's default is because, well, not everybody's, but, you know, people are like, ooh, there's nothing new, but we can always, she's the only one that's talked, so let's go make something out of every word that she says. I really don't think she has anything to do with it. Hey, you know what, though? I could be totally wrong, but I don't think so. All right? I think she is just somebody, you know, she's trying to help here. She's sharp, quick. I mean, she's going out talking. They're using her to, you know, communicate with the other teens. So when people go, wow, she's already inserted herself and she's like the, well, I think they're asking her to do it. Like she's willing to do it. That she's communicating with the other teens that are out there. And, you know, they have them, give them a place to communicate and then she can share what was said. You know, and I'm sure it's not, you know, I bet, oh God. See, the problem with that even is there's so many conspiracy theories. Oh, well, she might hear things but won't say because she's, yeah. Yeah, see, look at, there you go. There's Calla Lily. Told you. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. A total whack job conspiracy nut jobber. Okay, here we go.
Pressed for time, so let's get to it. I know you've been repeating yourself all day, but what's the latest? Tell us who Kiely Rodni is. Go ahead. I'll let you have the stage.
Yeah. Okay. So, thank you, Kiely.
No,
yeah.
You're welcome. I know you're super busy. I know you got to be tired. I know you've been busy.
Yeah.
I followed you at the press conference today, and I know you're a busy girl. And I just want to say I really admire what you're doing. You're amazing young lady. You're only 18 years old, right?
Yeah, I'm 18.
It's outstanding for a young girl your age to. But anyway, nonetheless, I know you're pressed for time, and everybody's wanting to know what's the latest. What is? Well, I'll let you take it from the top. Who's Kiely Rodni?
I got a Baconator. The son of Baconator there.
Let's go back to the beginning, I guess, real quick. Just give us a rundown.
Totally, yeah. So, Kiely is one of my close friends. We met through mutual friends, and we became closer in the past year to coming months recently, and she is just a light in a lot of people's lives, and we became closer in the past year to coming months recently, and she is just a light in a lot of people's lives. She's wonderful. She's smiling all the time. She's caring. She's beautiful. She's there for anybody who has ever needed her. She's very outgoing. She's outdoorsy too. She loves the water. She loves to sing. Her voice is just amazing too, and she's just a beautiful girl, and we all miss her a lot. And so,
Yeah, I'm sure. You saw her at the party, right? You were at the party with her?
yes, I was the last person to contact her after the party, and I was with her basically throughout the entire party. I was
No, it's okay.
walking
It's
around
okay.
with her. And
I know you got a lot going on. I
Yeah.
get it.
I'm at the teen to teen meetup, so there's a lot of
No,
kids outside. Yes, I was the last person to contact her after the party, and I was with her basically throughout the entire party. I was
No, it's okay.
walking
It's
around
okay.
with her.
I know you got a lot going on. I
Yeah.
get it.
I'm at the teen to teen meetup, so there's a lot of
No,
kids outside.
everybody's wanting to talk to you, and like I said, I greatly appreciate every minute I have with you.
Yeah.
Can you take a quick look at this photo? Is
Yeah.
this what she? Can you confirm whether or not she was wearing this at the night of the party? Is that what she was wearing?
Yeah, so that top is exactly what I saw her in. If you can see on her left side, on her hip, you can see some skin. She was wearing a black bodysuit.
Yeah, right
I
there.
remember because we went to the bathroom together, peed in the
Remember
woods
that? I
together a
pointed that
couple
out.
of times, and so that's her shirt right there. The pants were different that she wore to the party. She was wearing green Dickies pants, but that belt is definitely what she's wearing too. I remember watching her have to take it off when we were using the restroom together. We were out using the outdoor restroom, popping squat, basically, so... Yeah.
That was
And-
just released from the Placer County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
This picture, I just found it on their.
So here's the thing: the timeline of when the sweatshirt was seen. So I asked that in my email. They didn't answer. So I want to know what time in the video that was filmed with Kiely wearing the white jumper or whatever you want to call it, or the hoodie. She, not jumper, but a hoodie. What time was that? Was that after Sammy was there, or was it earlier? Maybe they weren't hanging around each other as much as we might have thought, or maybe she only wore it for a few minutes. I mean, who the hell knows what the actuality of it is? We just don't have enough information out there.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
So there's talk about this top, the spaghetti straps top. Some people are saying it was found at the area. Can you
Thanks, Ozzy,
confirm that,
Trisha.
or is that
Yeah,
just-
so that has not been confirmed. If it has not been posted on our Find Kiely Rodni Instagram page or on the website or on the Placer County Sheriff's Office Facebook or anything, then it is not true, and it is not something that people should be following on or trusting. The information will be posted and will be coming from us when it is confirmed. So to let people know what to look out for, if a changed shirt or something. So yeah, that has not been confirmed.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
So at the night of the party,
See, like situations like that, moments like that where she's talking, that's where I just go, yeah. See, she's just, that's not the way somebody that's guilty is thinking. Like, okay, let me try to, this is just somebody that's working the case. Basically like we do. Trying to figure out what the hell's going on. That is my opinion. But I'm not a super sleuth. Like the rest of you. You guys are all just, wow.
the last time you saw her, can you tell us about?
Thanks, fishing in the dark.
Give us a rundown of the party real quick. I understand it was a large gathering.
Yeah,
100
so it was supposed to be a senior farewell party where all the seniors and everybody from around our area,
Farewell.
like Tahoe and Truckee
What
and
did she say?
Incline.
A rundown of the party real quick. I understand it was a large gathering.
Yeah,
100
so it was supposed to be a senior farewell
Oh, she
party
said
where all the seniors and everybody from around our area, like Tahoe and Truckee and Incline and Kings Beach, were supposed to be there. They were invited there because it was supposed to be like saying goodbye to your favorite seniors before everybody starts going off to college, because soon enough here people are going to start leaving and moving out. And so Kylie's a senior, or she graduated early, so she's considered a senior, and I was a senior.
No, Kyle, Lily, I'm not. It's just your comments are ridiculous, okay? That's the truth. And look at you how you... I'm going to unhide Kyle Lily. Bullies are people who just throw out random comments and try to... And then when you call them out on it, they say something else back. You know, they get angry. Okay, you started saying, what? Wow, how convenient that she's the teen coordinator. Okay, don't disrupt the show, Kyle Lily, okay? Go disrupt the other channels. Thank you.
So every senior was initially invited to the party. And as well, all grades were invited just so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Kylie, and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together. She came... So Kylie's a senior, or she graduated early, so she's considered a senior, and I was a senior. So every senior was initially invited to the party. And as well, all grades were invited just so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Kylie, and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together. She came with her best friend, Mags.
Okay, let me get that part. I gotta get that part.
So every senior was initially invited to the party. And as well, all grades were invited just so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Kylie, and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together. She came with her best friend, Mags.
I keep missing that because she says it so fast, like an auctioneer. It sounds a little bit like this.
I'm fired out of midnight 10 down 15 on a I better down bear on 15 I better down bear on 15 20 I better down bear on 15 better down bear on 20.
Yeah, she is. She's a 16-year-old senior. She skipped a grade. She's very smart.
About 30, sir. 25 of them, you're out. I better down bear on 25 better down bear on 30 30 now 5 I'm 30.
Yeah, Kylie's 16 years old, and she skipped a grade because she's so smart. And so maybe, you know, that's one of the things that gives you a couple points into the runaway type of thing, but I doubt it. You know, she was really intoxicated. So
it was supposed to be like saying goodbye to your favorite seniors before everybody starts going off to college, because soon enough here people are going to start leaving and moving out. And so Kylie's a senior, or she graduated early, so she's considered a senior, and I was a senior. So every senior was initially invited to the party. And as well, all grades were invited just so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Kylie, and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not.
I think she said we hadn't planned on going together. Hadn't, right?
All grades were invited just so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Kylie, and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together.
Yeah, so they said we hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together. We hadn't planned on going together, and basically, and we ended up not going together. Right? She did say that, right? People just throw around words too easily. Oh, you're a bully. You know, because I don't allow people to trash. I just said a minute ago that I'm on this channel, we're not going to be bashing her, okay? I'm just trying to figure out the events, and she's the closest thing that we have to somebody actually talking about what in the hell was going on, right? That's it. Okay, so when you're in there, sitting there, coming up with little comments, you know, trying to dig in. I know there's whole industries and channels out there that all they do is sit here and trash Sammy into oblivion because she's the only person they can, because she's the only one that's come forward. If there was 15 other kids, at least it would have divided up the thrashing that they're giving everybody. I think it sucks, you know. And here's the thing: even if you turn out to be that it's true that somehow she was part of something, right now there's no information pointing to that at all, and it would just be pure luck that it turned out that way on your part. There isn't any sleuthing that you're doing. What you're doing is figuring it out, and I'd say the same thing. I don't know if anybody's still there, but that was crazy. I had this weird graphic thing that hold on a second. I'm gonna have to try to load this sucker back up again. I had to reboot the damn computer. That was wild. Hold on a second. Wonder what was going on there. I think it's Adobe Premiere. Causes a lot of issues. Can you guys hear me though? Or at least I can't tell because I can't see the chat or anything. Oh, there it is. Alright, I gotta do something really fast over here. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm just trying to get everything going on the fly here again. Jesus, that was weird. It just went like the whole screen just kind of had this weird looking graphics on all three monitors, but here a lot of weird things go on when that program's open. No, it's not the internet. It's this crazy graphics. I don't know. Adobe Premiere causes me problems. It's actually frozen my computer multiple times when it's open for some reason. Okay, I think it's right there.
Her the second she got there, and from that moment on we were
Okay.
it was supposed to be like saying goodbye to your favorite seniors before everybody starts going off to college, because soon enough here people are going to start leaving and moving out. And so Kylie's a senior, or she graduated early, so she's considered a senior, and I was a senior, so every senior was initially invited to the party. And as well,
Hey, by the way, thanks for all 384 of you actually. I think that's still working. Is that right? I mean, that's amazing that you waited the 5 minutes while it got rebooted. You know, normally people, I gotta go. Ooh, it's like a drug in the veins. I gotta go ship over to somewhere else that might be talking.
all grades were invited just so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Kylie, and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together. She came with her best friend Mags Larson. Magdalene, sorry, is her first name.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and so she came with her, drove in with her, and then Mags ended up leaving about 10 minutes into the party with her boyfriend Ross.
I gotta pause it because I was
boyfriend.
trying to take notes here, and I want to get this so we don't have to keep watching the video again over and over again. All right.
Going off to college, because soon enough here people are going to start leaving and moving out. And so Kylie's a senior, or she graduated early, so she's considered a senior, and I was a senior, so every senior was initially invited to the party.
Well, what's happening, D-Boss, is that everybody is out there freaking out about it, right? I'm a fiend. I'm a fiend. What an idiot. No, I mean, the problem is everybody's talking about it with such irrational thoughts that I figured somebody needs to be making a show. Every single show that's on the air is all trashing Sammy over and over and over again without really using their critical thinking skills, because it's an easy target, right? Like, oh yeah, an 18-year-old, let's just go, boom, 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 yeah, she said this and this and that, oh man, and then come up with this huge story based on it, right? Yeah, we know who it is. It's the same, Norman the Winner account, same shit. Either him or the wacko YouTuber that shall go nameless. Everybody knows who the wacko YouTuber is. All right. So right now we're at one of Sammy's close friends met. They met from mutual friends, became closer in the last year and recent months. She's the light in a lot of people's eyes. Loves water, loves to sing, great voice, likes the outdoors. I was the last person to contact her after the party. With her basically, she was with her basically throughout the party. I was walking around with her, and then she sort of paused and said, Sammy confirmed she was wearing what we see with the black bodysuit, but wore green dicky pants and the same belt. Okay, and then it was a senior farewell party. All seniors from around the area would be there and were invited. Kiely is a 16-year-old senior. All grades were invited to say goodbye. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together. So they didn't go together to the place.
And as well, all grades were invited just so that they could say goodbye. So I had talked with Kiely, and I had known she was going beforehand. We hadn't planned on going together, and we ended up not going together. She came with her best friend Mags Larson. Magdalene, sorry, is her first name.
Okay, so they didn't go together, but Kiely went with Mag to the party. Right.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and so she came with her, drove in with her, and then Mags ended up leaving about 10 minutes into the party with her boyfriend, Rob.
Okay, that's right. So that's probably what it was. It was like a hookup thing. So Mag went there with Kiely so that she could be with her boyfriend, and then they took off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it wasn't like the boyfriend probably, like maybe the parents are like, well, we don't want you hanging out with this guy. We don't want you to pick him up. So she goes and meets him. Mag meets this guy at the party. So Kiely went with Mag to the party. Then Mag left the party around 10 minutes. It could have been 20 though, right? Like don't take every single word. They're rough estimates. Then Mag left the party around 10 minutes later with her boyfriend. So that would leave Kiely sort of alone in terms of like who she got there with, right?
Max's boyfriend, and told Kiely goodbye and everything, and they were never planning on like leaving together or staying together at the
Okay, yeah. So then even Mag said goodbye, and they were never planning on staying nor leaving together. See, that's what it was. The whole thing was a plan for Mag to meet up with her boyfriend and take off.
Party. They just went to the party together because they were hanging out earlier in the day. And then I saw her the second she got there, and from that moment on, we were pretty much seen together all around the party. We would break off for mere moments from each other to go talk to other people or to go do other things, But we.
Hey, Jamie, you need to write a little bit better grammar than that. That made absolutely no sense. Try it again, though. Let's see.
We would break off for mere moments from each other to party. They just went to the party together because they were hanging out earlier in the day. And then I saw her the second she got there, and from that moment on, we were pretty much.
Okay, so Sammy saw Kiely the moment she got there. That's why she's so aware of what Mag and her boyfriend did. They got there and then they left. Moment she got there, Sammy saw Kiely the moment she got there, and from that moment on,
seen together all around the party. We would break off for mere moments. And she got there, and from that moment on, we were pretty much seen together all around the.
Okay, from that moment on, we were pretty much seen together. I'm assuming that's one of those words like seen together. Well, who cares if you were seen together, right? It's like you were together hanging out.
The party, we would break off for mere moments from each other to go talk to other people, and
then they would break off. They would separate for moments during the night to talk to other people.
Or to go do other things, you know, but we would always come back to each other. We were just going around the party. We were drinking the same drinks, being teenagers, throwing glow sticks into the party, and it started to grow really big. I would say around 10 to 10:30, it just blew up. Like, it started to get to the point where I was getting overwhelmed, and I'm a very social person. I've been to a lot of these parties. I've never been overwhelmed. I've actually been underwhelmed, but at this party, it was very large. Like, it was bigger than any party we've had in Truckee all year, and for a lot of years past. There were people from what we think Sacramento, San Francisco. I remember talking to somebody who was from San Francisco, Reno, Folsom, areas that were just way out of reach from it, and it was really overwhelming and weird to see, but I didn't really think much of it. I just thought, oh, kids are around here, they have vacation homes up here, they're just coming to party, because why not? So then Kiely and I were going around taking shots and just drinking. We were trading drinks with each other. We were sharing drinks with each other. We would go back to her car to get some alcohol sometimes. And then we went to her car to charge her phone. And we were talking about, because why not? So then Kiely and I were going around taking shots and just drinking. We were trading drinks with each other. We were sharing drinks with each other. We would go back to her car to get some alcohol sometimes, and then we went to her car to charge her phone, and we were talking about just random stuff, and then it's kind of hard to remember. And so, or no, we were talking about her texting her mom. And
yeah, see, I mean, so right there, I think that was an actual memory. She's like, oh yeah, that's right, we were.
And her charging her phone and stuff, and just about the party in general. And then we had a few other friends in the car, and then we all decided to go back to the party, and we were around in there for a bit. I had asked her for a ride home when we were in the car because my ride was leaving and I wanted to stay at the party longer. Her texting her mom and her charging her phone and stuff, and just about the party in general. And then we had a few other friends in the car, and then we all decided to go back to the party, and we were around in there for a bit. I had asked her for a ride home when we were in the car because my ride was leaving and I wanted to stay at the party longer. And so then we ended up splitting up in the party because I went.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get this in here. So I had a few other friends in the car.
Charging her phone and stuff, and just about the party in general. And then we had a few other friends in the car, and then we all decided to go back to the party, and we were around in there for a bit. I had asked her for a ride home when we were in the car because my ride was leaving and I wanted to stay at the party longer.
Okay.
And so then we.
Right. So her original ride was leaving early. So we don't know exactly what time this is. Let's just throw maybe 11 something. But she wanted to stay longer. Her ride was leaving. So Sammy asked her for a ride home because her ride was leaving.
Ended up splitting up in the party because I went to go find another.
And so they went back to the party, right? So went back to the party, and then they ended up splitting up because, and she's going to give an answer to that.
Another ride when we got back into the party after leaving the car.
Let me hear that again.
Asked her for a ride home when we were in the car because my ride was leaving and I wanted to stay at the party longer. And so then we ended up splitting up in the party because I went to go find another ride when we got back into the party after leaving the.
Okay, so her first mission was to try to get another ride later, but then would hang out until that person left. Okay, Okay, and then ended up splitting up at the party, splitting up because Sammy went to look for another ride. I guess that's about it. Makes sense to me.
So that we could sorry, my mind is in a moment.
No,
To the party after leaving the car, so that we could. Sorry, my mind is in a moment.
no, that's okay.
I have to go back.
Car because my ride was leaving, and I wanted to stay at the party longer, and so then we ended up splitting up in the party because I went to go find another ride when we got back into the party after leaving the car, so that we could. Sorry, my mind is in a moment.
So
No,
another
that's
ride.
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So it's another ride that was leaving later. Okay, another ride that was leaving later. Doesn't that make sense? Like, so okay, I'm gonna stay a little bit longer, and okay, but let's see. Hold on. So she asks her for a ride. Wait, I have to go back now.
Or no, we were talking about
I have to go
her
back.
texting her mom and her charging her phone and stuff, and just about the party in general. And then we had a few other friends in the car, and then we all decided to go back to the party, and we were around in there for a bit. I had asked her for a ride home when we were in the car because my ride was leaving, and I wanted to stay at the party longer.
Okay, well that part, it's like, okay, well if she already said she was going to give you a ride, why'd you go back into the party and look for another ride? You know what I'm saying, so that part, you know,
And
doesn't
so
make
then
much
we
sense right there. But you
ended
can tell she's kind of confused while she's talking.
Splitting up in the party because I went to go find another ride when we got back into the party after leaving the car.
So maybe it was after. Okay, here's what I think happened. She was in the car and she was asking Kiely for a ride home. But then they were in there drinking and drinking and drinking. And then by the time they got out of the car, after all those other people in there, she realized how intoxicated Kiely was. So then was looking for another ride at the party to get home. Yeah. See, the thing is, I know that you want it to turn into something. I'm just trying to make sense of the information. That makes sense to me because later she says that Kiely was too intoxicated, so she went and found a different ride. And I think they were probably in the car for a while because remember they went to the car to get some more drinks and then were charging their phones. Then more people joined them, so the car became sort of like a party area for a while. So by the time that was over, Kiely was probably absolutely obliterated. And she's like, okay. And then he went back to the party because she needed to go find another ride now because she wasn't going to get a ride with Kiely. I think that makes more sense than trying to come up with a nefarious reason.
So that we could, sorry, my mind is in a moment.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I want to take a couple of questions here real quickly. Nola in the chat wants to ask you, who was fighting at the party? The girl and guy. Look into them. Was there a fight at the party?
Yeah, so there were some friendly fights that were going on. There was, like, we had boxing gloves. People were, like, trying to instigate. It wasn't anybody who had really any drama or... They were...
Hey, Just 90. No, they're flying monkey bingo players. You missed it. Man, get that right next time. Just 90.
weren't enemies or anything. It was more just friendly fights to keep entertainment going. This happens at a lot of our parties. We just do it to have fun. If somebody gets hurt, like, we have people on them, but...
So it wasn't like a fight out of anger. It was just kind of just a fun.
And I love every one of you flying monkey bingo players. Okay, thank you.
Competition type of fighting.
Yeah, just see who wins and who goes home with the title. Which I will randomly admit, people do end up getting in fights over who won, but not this time.
Daniel Taylor, and Nola, thank you for that comment. Daniel Taylor's in the house. Daniel Taylor wants to ask you: did Kiely have her boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend with her at the party?
No, there was no ex-boyfriend there. Her ex-boyfriend lived in Napa. He was in Napa at the time, and I think he lives in Napa. And he actually drove up the next day, the second he heard that she was missing. He's very close with her family and her. There was no anything. And she does not currently have a boyfriend. She was rocking the single life.
I'm just taking notes on what she's saying. Why wouldn't you want to do that? I don't want to have to watch this 50,000 times.
Like we used to say, she just wanted to be open and single. And second he heard that she was missing, he's very close with her family and her. There was no...
Taylor's in the house. Daniel Taylor wants to ask you: did Kiely have her boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend with her at the party?
No, there was no ex-boyfriend there. Her ex-boyfriend lived in Napa. He was in Napa at the time, and I think he lives in Napa. And he actually drove up the next day, the second he heard that she was missing. He's very close with her family and her. There was no anything, and she does not currently.
So the ex-boyfriend is the, what's his name? Jagger, right? Mick Jagger. Yeah, the Jagger guy. And that makes sense, right? Because remember he came and he was looking. So he's probably still close with her. I mean, believe it or not, there are people that when they break up with somebody, they're still really good friends. At my brother's funeral, there was like 4 girlfriends of his there, which was just like, man, that's impossible. You know, I don't know how that happened. But.
They have a boyfriend. She was rocking the single life, like we used to say.
Yeah, so ex-boyfriend was in Napa, and came the next day.
She just wanted to be open and single. And
okay, so then Kiely was rocking the single life. There.
Yeah.
To have fun as a kid.
I get it. She's only 16. She's just a baby. I just can't even imagine. How's mom doing? Have you talked to her mom at all?
Yeah, so I've been in close contact with the family.
How they doing? She looked just a nervous wreck.
I get the bots working.
Can't even imagine what she's going through.
Yeah.
Our thoughts and prayers are with. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say our thoughts and prayers are with the family.
Yeah, one of the key things in interviews like this is you got to let them talk until they're done talking, and then you get them onto a new point, and you let them keep talking and talking and until they're done talking about something. I mean, I'm not perfect at that myself, but that is what you do. Mike, if you want to have somebody that's really good at interviewer, listen to Mike Morford. That's how he does it. You know, I'm pretty good because I just have a conversation with people, and we're just talking. You know, I don't have this script where I don't even have a notes really. Maybe a few points just written down, but I already know the case. So a lot of times you get these people that get people on and they don't know the case, so they're just they don't even know what to ask. That might lead to a little bit more information that would be needed. But if you know the case, then you're interviewing. Then you can sort of, ask questions that get to certain points, but you're just having a conversation.
It's got to be a hard time. What can we do to help? What can the public do? The web sleuths out there. What can we do to help find?
The questions I ask are things that I'm interested in. I don't really care about some of the stuff like, hey, how long was she in school? Did she have a lot of friends? I really don't care. That's not the stuff. I care about the technical information and timeline and location. That's always so huge. It's location. Timeline and location is, to me, almost, you have to have that set in stone, and then you start working in the fluff details around that to come up with a theory that's rational. Right now, there really isn't enough here in this case. She is the only person that's given this much information. And that's the reality of it.
Kiely, what can we do to help you?
To everyone at this point around the world, I'm hoping that this is reaching, and if anybody's seeing this, just if they can keep sharing this.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not summertime. It's summertime right now, Jerome. So these kids aren't going to be sharing with teachers. And, they're going to be, you say when they can't keep a secret, they're just going to keep telling all their other friends anything that they might have seen. Right? And that's why these little teen groups are important to have here, so they can go in and talk. And then maybe somebody shares the right piece of information. Right? I don't think it's an absolute. So what are you saying? Let me ask you something. Are you still there, Kristen Cure? What are you saying if you're saying that a kid couldn't keep a secret? So if they couldn't keep a secret, then what are you saying is going on with that statement? That there was really no kids there at all? There was 5 people, and I'm not sure what we're trying to imply there. or what it means. I don't know if she's still here, probably when the crash.
Get the story out to neighbors and friends and family and local news stations and local newspapers and posting flyers, making flyers, screenshotting, and somehow making flyers. We
Thanks,
need
Kit
this
Kat.
information to spread everywhere. We're trying to get posters everywhere, information everywhere, just trying to have everybody in the world at this.
And by the way, Kit Kat, look at. I do have the word cat on the shirt right here. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to get the bots working. Okay, there's the bots. All right, they should be working now.
Point looking for Kiely and just trying to find Kiely, and if anybody sees anything to report it immediately to the police, the Placer County Sheriff's Office, or the numbers that have been loaded on. There's been a lot of trouble and frustration with people about the tip line, but they have to understand that there's 1,000 people in there working, getting millions of calls a day now.
Okay. See, like, isn't that an indication right there that she's not really precise with her talking? Okay. So I'm just trying to take notes of what she's saying, but like right there, millions of calls a day. Okay. And there isn't really thousands of people in there, and they're not taking millions of calls a day. All right. I bet you they get maybe, a million. They're not getting millions of calls a day. I bet you they're getting, at first, they might have gotten 500 to 1,000 maybe early on a day. Maybe. And you wouldn't need thousands of people manning the phones to do that.
I know you had stated that
So like when she says 10 minutes, it could be 25, right?
We're not trying to create any rumors, but there was something on the Facebook page that I wanted to see if maybe you can comment on this. It says 2 days ago on the Neighbors app.
What do you mean she just wants to be important? What does that mean, Kristen Cure? Anyways, a minute ago when you said that kids can't keep a secret, well, there was a lot of kids at the party, so how are they keeping the secret? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the point of that was. Yeah. And trust me, almost every woman, when they say I'll be there in 10 minutes, it means an hour and 5 minutes. Okay, it's hey, what time's dinner? What time's our date tonight, Gray? Well, it's in about 10 minutes. Okay, I'll be right there. Tick, tock. You're just, man. Yes, it's called Hawaiian time, right? Oh, dinner's at 6. You can just start putting the plates down at 7:30. Let's see. And I know that because my sister lives in Hawaii and their whole family's Hawaiian. They will not forever. Someone will crack. Yeah, maybe someday, but they're not talking now, so. So yes, over time, sure. So maybe during the school year might be a good time to revisit the case. What do you think about that?
At 1 o'clock in the morning, a topless female was being chased by a Honda CRV and was pulled back into the vehicle in Sacramento, California. That's about an hour and 38 minutes away from Prosser Campground.
Yeah, I think she is important. I don't think her saying 1 million makes her seem important. I think that makes it seem like what the investigators are doing are important. So I don't understand how that makes her look important. That part. Thank you, Cindy Leanne.
Kiely drives the Honda CRV. Her tank top was possibly found at the scene. I know we just discussed that. We can't verify that is true. Down the road from they're saying her tank top was found at the scene down the road from the Prosser Campground. The timestamps could be off due to a camera clock being accurate or inaccurate. But I don't know is there anything you can comment on that?
What's the OMG? What? What happened that was so OMG worthy just now?
Yeah, so we are investigating into that currently from my knowledge of the detectives, and it has not been confirmed nor denied that if that is Kiely, but we do not believe that her shirt has not been found.
Confirmed or denied. See, she got that from television. It's just She's a kid. You know?
I can confirm that. Her shirt was
So-
not found, nor were any articles of her clothing at all.
Okay, so I want to let's repeat that. The spaghetti strap shirt that was claimed to have been found, that was not hers.
No, it was not hers. It was investigated by the FBI and the cops and everything.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like we were saying, I mean, this very well, it could be an accident right now. Things fit. She says, Sammy says that at 12:36, she received a phone call from Kiely. However, we know based on the last ping information that a phone call couldn't have been made at 12:36. But that doesn't mean she's nefarious. It could mean that the phone call came in at 12:26, right? I mean, it could. She just could be saying it wrong, because there's no reason to lie there, and because lying is provable, it would be stupid. So it could have been 12:26, and then my God, wouldn't the story make a hell of a lot more sense if that was true? Imagine a phone call made at 12:26. Because, man, Kylie's got to get home right now because she was supposed to be home at 12:30. So she calls over to Sammy and says, "Hey, Sammy, do you still need your ride?" And Sammy says, "Oh, no, I'm actually already on my way home. I got another ride." And she's like, "Oh, shit," and gets in her car. She hangs up, gets in her car, and then something happened 7 minutes later where the phone lost all connection to cell towers. Doesn't that make just a ton of sense right there? I mean, isn't that amazing? Like, if you just move that back to 12:26, even though that's not what she said, it makes sense now. Because why would Kiely call at 12:36 to give her a ride home when she's already late? Doesn't it make more sense that she would have called before, and then on the rush to get home, something happened? You know, as a matter of fact, I've always, let me go to my, I'm going to show those two ponds again, because I wonder now if they even searched those ponds because they relied heavily on the last ping information. Now, I don't know if maybe that does matter, but it could be that the ping information, the phone just died. And originally, when we first started covering this, I was thinking right here on the way home, because the party was at the lake here and to north-south oriented like this. And to get home, she drives this way, and then down this road right here, there's this pond, and then there's another one right here. I mean, imagine that one looks really like, you're coming around this curve trying to get home really fast. Like, oh man, and you go right down there and you can go into that pond. Okay, because it's a gravel, treacherous road to get back home, which is right here. So, maybe that's a place that Adventures with a Purpose could go check out. Wouldn't that be crazy, after all this time, if the car was actually in the same ponds that we talked about on the first night? Wouldn't that be wild? I'm wondering if they put the same resources into these ponds because they don't match their ping information.
Thank you so much for clarifying that. So the spaghetti strap shirt, the top that was found, that did not belong to Kiely Rodni. Thank you for that, Sammy.
Yeah.
So I can. So now when we watch the press conference, the police.
Well, no, I'm trying to take notes this time, Torrance. Yeah. And the reality is normally on a case like this, I would just kind of move on, but it seems like everybody just wants to talk about it, and that's it. Right? As soon as I was trying to cover something else last night, everybody wanted to talk about this one. So I'm covering it in a different way because I'm trying to get down. Her interview is the closest thing we've got to what was going on, and I'm trying to take notes so I actually have the information. Now, if it's not something you're interested in, then I can always move on to the cold case that I have in the background. It's a really crazy, disturbing, really crazy cold case. Nuts, actually.
We're saying that they're trying to get everyone that was at that party to come forward. So should we tell, should we get that message out as well to everybody that was at that party that they need to,
Yeah.
who do they contact?
Well, I've been not in charge, but I've taken on the responsibility of trying to get in contact with everybody at that party. I've posted teen meetups, teen to teens, where there's no adults, no parents, and no media coverage. Everybody stays anonymous, and everybody does not get, everybody is just talking teen to teen. We have interviewers, only about 7 or 8 of us, and that's the limit we're trying to keep it at, to keep the information kind of in a simple one source area that we can go to. And we've moved locations, multiple, trying to make things more convenient in the Tahoe area, in the Truckee area. We've held one last night, and then we held one tonight, and we had a lot of teens come out today and explain things. It's just a way for teens to not feel the pressure of getting in trouble by their parents, or to feel like the cops are going to get them in trouble, or to feel that the media will spread their face all over the internet. We're just trying to get teens to be honest, because kids will tell kids who they kissed, and kids will tell kids who they drank with, and
they don't want mom and dad to know what really happened at the party.
Exactly.
I totally get that, and that's good that you're doing that. Laura Truan just was in the comments. Laura Truan says you're doing a great job, Sammy.
Thank you.
So I'm trying to think, what else can you tell us that can help? Anything specific about that car? Is there anything like, I don't know, maybe did the car? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so a lot of us just remember today, because again, we weren't ever really looking severely at her vehicle when we were just friends with her, but we do all remember that she has a sticker of a bull. We don't have the exact sticker, but it's a sticker of a bull that is right under the windshield wiper. Right under that is where the back windshield, the animal. It's a sticker of a bull, the animal, like a cow.
Oh, wow, it's an actual ram, everybody. She's trying to trick everybody. People are going to be looking for a car with a bull, not a ram. Oh, my God, we figured out the case. Case closed, everybody. She's trying to throw everybody off by telling them it's a bull, not a ram. Because every time a car drives by with a ram, people went, oh, we were told a bull. Forget that one. All right, you know how that works, right? I'm being sarcastic. All right, so it was interesting, too, right before that, because that's kind of what Kristen Cure was saying. You know, they're having these meetings with all these kids so they can tell who they were partying with. And it makes sense to do it like this, because there's all these young kids. They want them to feel safe in a place where they can just kind of talk and you know, I'm not sure how they're capturing the information, though. Are they recording it privately or something? I don't know. Okay.
With horns.
Okay.
Right under the back windshield wiper. It's right under that, and her car does have hubcaps.
Nah, she didn't, Pam Smith. Okay, go sell your conspiracy theory somewhere else.
Hubcaps, because in a lot of these pictures, cars don't have hubcaps. Her car has Honda hubcaps.
Okay. Wow. So look for that car that has it may have a bull a sticker of a bull on the back window, that 2013 Honda CRV. It's a silver car.
And there's a sunroof as well.
And it has a sunroof. Okay, that's another good detail. So it has a sunroof and it has a bull sticker. There's a sticker of a bull, the animal, a bull, on the underneath the back wiper, the rear wiper,
Yes, right underneath it.
Okay. Jane Darby's wanting to ask you, anyone that you noticed hanging around her? Was there anybody was hanging around her? Did you notice anybody around her?
To be fully honest, I was inebriated at the time, so I wasn't.
Oh, to say completely honest, remember the Chris McDummy channel? They said if you say ly words, you're lying. Hey, Kristen Cure, I got your PayPal. Thank you. Is that address is good on the PayPal address? I got you in the. I just put you on the new list. Hold on, where is that? There it is. All the rest of them are. Boom, and there you go. Awesome. I think that's it. All right, you're first on the new list. Okay, cool. But that's kind of what you're saying. Don't you think that's a pretty good idea to have the kids communicating in groups like that?
I get it.
Fully attentive of who exactly was around us. We, again, when we were going around together, we were just in a lot of different huge
No,
groups of
it's
people we had
not.
never met. Because her and I are similar in the sense that we're both very social. We'll talk to anybody we meet. We love
Right.
meeting people, and so that's what we
Yeah.
were doing and
Oh,
everything.
you girls are amazing. I'm just impressed, but it's so sad that this has happened. I just, man, my heart goes out to the family. I just, she's a beautiful young girl. She's only, I got a daughter the same age. Lord, I can't imagine.
She doesn't remember it that well, Michelle. She's already struggled a few times to kind of remember what was going on. She doesn't have like a ton of details from it. She's just highlighting the big points. Man, people are just so delusional.
What they're going through. I just can't imagine. I'm just trying to think. I'm assuming that they're checking mine shafts. Maybe the car went down off the road into a ravine. I don't know. But the phone. What about the phone? Can you tell us about her cell phone? Is there anything specific you can tell us? Go ahead.
So it has we're having trouble remembering what color. Like my cell phone is a green phone, but I have an orange case on it. But we do know that her phone has a black case on it with a sticker on the very middle back that says sex wax on it. And it's an iPhone, not the Samsung that was found. It's an iPhone.
So it's an iPhone.
I forget which generation and which number, but I can post about that or something or get in contact with you.
Okay. Real quickly, Laura Truan wants to ask you, what about pictures and social media posts? There has to be evidence this party went down.
Now that's something I think is really weird. I don't know if Kristen Cure can speak on that part, but don't you think that part is weird? That out of all those people there aren't a ton of photographs and videos put on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, all these different videos and images. I think there's like 3 that we're aware of out there. So doesn't it make you think that they're nervous that there's somebody in the photos and videos that might be retaliating against them if they're the one that came forward with that image? I mean, it's just really odd to me.
I'm sure there's people taking photos or TikToks. I'm sure there's got to be a TikTok video of the fight or something, right? There's got to be something out there.
Yeah. So there's hundreds of videos. We have videos of people taking videos.
Wait, hold on. I gotta do Kyra's joke. Did you see the way she looked to the left? I'm actually body language expert, and her looking to the left meant absolutely nothing. Expert analysis is fraudulent. Yeah, that's right. Oh, did you see how? Yeah, I mean, the thing is yes, everybody became an expert during Chris Watts. I mean, it's amazing. And then after Chris Watts, everybody thinks that they're absolutely super sleuthy, and they watch people like the Behavior Panel, and everything they say is gold in what they're looking at, even though they all kind of say it differently. And then you got the guy on Chris McDummie's show all the time, who comes on there and just an absolute joke. I mean, an embarrassment, talking about, every time you use ly at the end of a word, it's a lie, And it's weird because you said ly in your explanation. Yeah. And so I don't know if you guys remember the Heidi Broussard case. That was the one where everybody should have woke up. The Heidi Broussard case was a case where everybody was blaming the husband Shane because he just looked dodgy in those interviews. However, to toot my own horn on this channel, everybody out there was doing exactly what they're doing to Sammy right now. Everybody, okay? I was the only channel on that case that was like, no, man. Did you hear what he said? How nervous he is? And those people setting up the interview were absolutely ridiculous on what they were having him do and making him uncomfortable. And he started to, sweat and look nervous and stuff like that. And I go, no, don't do that. Of course you look at other things, were they arguing and those types of things. But that little interview meant nothing. And then it turned out later that And guess what? There was a channel out there that was trashing, just like they're doing right now. They're trashing Sammy into oblivion. And in that case, they trashed Shane into oblivion. And then just randomly, it turns out that it was one of Heidi Broussard's friends that killed her and took the baby. I mean, I think it was a newly born baby. Killed her and took the baby. It was the most ridiculous case. It had nothing to do with Shane whatsoever. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're so sure all the time. I mean, I know you have nothing to lose. Okay, but I'm an actual responsible YouTuber, so when I'm covering cases, I look at them and I try to look at it rationally, like what could actually be going on instead of what your gut feeling is. Okay, because your gut feeling isn't going to be right like 90% of the time, I guarantee it. People in the true crime community, they go, ooh, my gut feeling is, that's because you're, you know, after covering a million cases, you know, your intuition can be right, but your gut feeling is just, I think, sometimes a byproduct when we're just covering these cases of, what do you call it, like, just an imagination of what's going on. Yeah. So try to use, like, the logic and reasoning part. Think through things. Try to, like, what could actually be going on? Yes, she did say 12:36. But what if it was actually 12:26? And the last time the phone was 12:33. I'd love to know when the last phone call time was made. That would be her, apparently. So, anyways. Don't be the Shane people.
We have
Very good. Very good.
hundreds of
Right,
videos,
Cairo?
hundreds of pictures. We've asked everybody to send us any videos and any pictures that they have, even if it's a picture that looks exactly like something else sent us. It could have different angles. We are looking at an app called Be Real, which is where a lot of kids waited, because the Be Real, it's an app where you can post a picture and there's 2 minutes at random points in the day. There's only one a day. And it comes as a notification will pop up on your phone that says you have 2 minutes left to post your Be Real. Like, everybody has, you can post it later in the time, but you're supposed to post it in that time. We're looking at everybody's Be Reals because we know a lot of people waited until they were at that party to post their Be Reals. So we're looking for people to look back in their Snap memories of anybody that we can see in those videos, anybody that we can see in those Be Reals. We are looking at Instagram posts, photos taken on video cameras, photos taken on Snapchat, videos on all of these, and everything.
Okay. She lived fairly close. Is this picture correct? She was about 12 miles away. The Prosser Family Campground was roughly about 12 miles from her house. Is that correct?
That dot is not exactly where she was located. It's a little bit more to the right. And
I sent her an email. She answered a question, but she can't answer those questions, Scott. She did reply to my email, though.
Towards the little blue lake that you can see up from it. It was a little bit closer to that lake, but definitely that's about, it would have taken about 30 minutes for her. We've found out about approximately 30 minutes for her to drive that way, 38 maybe.
This is crazy. I mean, you know her being a friend.
No,
I mean,
that dirt road
your
was
thoughts on
slow.
her running away? Would she have a reason to run away? I'm just trying to come up with anything that, I mean, it's just, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, what do you think?
To be fully honest, from what I believe about Kiely, all ideas are still open in the air. But she's not the type of girl to run away. She loves people too much, and she has too much care in her heart to leave people and not leave a note or talk with one of her friends or something. And she is smart enough to know how this would get out and that people would be worried about her. And she's a smart girl. She graduated with honors early from high school and was going to attend college. And she had plans for her life, and she seemed really happy.
And I'm sure she wouldn't want to put her mom through this.
No,
her mom just is destroyed.
Her mom is her life. Her mom is fully invested in her life.
I could see that. I could see she's got very loving parents, and I could tell this is hard on them. And like I said, our thoughts and our prayers are with the family. We really want the best. We want Kiely to be found. DG's asking you, I think she's in the water in the car, drove into water. Have they checked the water? I'm sure they probably have, but is there anything you can tell us about, have they sent dive teams in, do you know, or anything like that? Or
Yeah, so there have been dive teams sent in, and I can pretty much only say that they've done thorough searches through the waters, through the lakes surrounding. They are searching the waters. They are searching the campgrounds and everywhere, related lakes that are near, because Boca and Stampede are 2 reservoirs that are near there as well. And they are doing searches through there every single day. They have been for the past 3 days. They have done extensive searches to points that you wouldn't even believe the FBI and those people they are going.
I'm impressed with what I've seen. I've seen some of the photos of the search and rescue crews out there, the volunteers, and no, I'd seen they got a heavy presence. They're working it. They're definitely working it.
And we're so thankful to them.
Oh yeah, they're definitely working hard to try to find her, and we watch the flight patterns. They got a helicopter. I don't know. Can you comment on the helicopter? Is there a reason they're flying in that area?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's going on? Go ahead.
Yeah, so they're flying helicopters around those areas because if they're shining spotlights down to see if there's any reflection, to find her car, to see if they see anybody. We're taught here in Truckee that during the winter, in case there's an avalanche or you're trapped out in the winter, that you can shine a reflective light, like using your phone screen and shining it towards the sun to say an SOS, or to let helicopters and airplanes know that you are out there, and to signal somebody from the ground if you're able to. That's something we're taught from a very young age in our school system.
That'll be very interesting. That's very good.
Yeah.
I
Roofied and then into the water? I don't think so.
I never knew that. That's very interesting. You taught me something.
Yeah.
I live in the desert. We don't worry about snow.
Yeah, definitely.
But no, I know where you're at. I've been there a bunch of times, and I know they get a ton of snow up there. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
But no, that makes perfect sense. But so they're flying around looking. So the car's nowhere in the area. She's got to be out there somewhere. Can you share your honest thoughts or opinion as to what you think may have happened to her? Do you care to share that?
To be fully honest, my biggest concern is that somebody, and I've said this in other interviews, somebody knew she was drunk, offered to give her a ride home, and they didn't give her a ride home. And they could be across
Yeah, see, that actually makes a lot of sense.
the world at this point with how long she's been gone. And I'm worried that
PTJO Tracy.
I have a feeling, and obviously, I don't know, I have a feeling that she is still alive and she's still out there and she's still fighting, but that there's somebody else involved, and that's not confirmed. That's just what I believe. I think there has to be somebody else involved in this. But
it's just so sad. Rhonda's wanting to ask you, did she wear an Apple Watch? Do you know? Did she wear an Apple Watch?
No, I don't believe so. I don't remember ever seeing her wear one. It's not something I pay really close attention to. And we're not the type to be like, oh, look at what I have on my wrist. I'm so rich, so.
Yeah, I know. You girls are amazing. You seem like wonderful people. And I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Romans 1:25-26 wants to know, was there any
By the way, you guys, if you'd like to help out the channel, you can use the what it does on this channel. If you help out the channel, it helps the support me to keep doing the shows. I do 7 days a week, 3 to 4 hour shows every single night, and your channel membership, super chats, PayPal, all that stuff. And then during the month and after the month is over, I take a huge portion of the income from the channel and I donate it to various charities. Now, if you want to send money directly to charities, go ahead and do so on your own. But we as a channel, for example, let's see, since 2020 January, $92,500 we've sent into charities, and we as a whole have, we've put over $30,000 into a DNA fund used for identifying Jane and John Does or criminals. All right, so we're trying to make a difference as a channel instead of, the classic nothing. Okay, just, conspiracy theory, nut job coverage, and nothing else on the side. Okay, that's not helping a damn thing. All right, so I'm trying to put this case together, looking at it just in a rational way, and right now you're sort of at this weird place where she either left or somebody abducted her, and it seems like authorities thought that from the very beginning that she was abducted. So, yeah, that part's interesting.
Cameras at the campground, going into the campground. Is there any cameras there?
No,
No
there's no
cameras.
cameras out there. The closest cameras would be the
Thank you,
traffic
Tamara.
cameras that start on I-80 near the rec center. It's hard to describe exactly where, but I think it's on Truckee Way. But it's 89 is very covered in cameras. There's not a lot of cameras out there.
Shani Jones wants to ask you, on your last call, did she let you know who the quote-unquote friend was that was driving her home?
Yeah, so this is a common misconception. She was not being driven home, and she was not driving. So, okay.
Yeah.
At the end of the party, when I saw her, she was supposed to give me a ride home because I had asked her to give me a ride home because I wanted to stay later. I then realized later in the party that I believe she was drunk, and I knew she was drunk. And
Right, so that was probably while they were in the car, you know. Then when she goes back into the party, she went and secured another ride.
so I did not want her to be driving me home because I know about drunk drivers and all that. And so
Smart.
Yeah, and I figured she would be staying there or she would find a ride home.
No, it doesn't really confuse people. That made sense to me. I already told you how it went, you know. You know, they were inside the car drinking. Other people joined them. But prior to that, she was going to give her a ride. And then in the car, that's when she probably realized later in the car that, wow, she's too intoxicated. So when they left the car, she went around and they got secured another ride from somebody else. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me, you know. You know, if you just look through and try to make it, you know, it makes more sense like that. And to be honest, that's what she says. But you can also try to look at it in the most nefarious way possible to fit your story that you want to tell people.
Because she's a smart girl. She's smart enough to know I know about drunk drivers and all that. And so
Smart.
Yeah, and I figured she would be staying there or she would find a ride home because she's a smart girl. She's smart enough to know she's smart. And so then I found her as I was leaving the party. I was making sure to find her to tell her that I had another ride home and that I loved her and I wanted to say bye and for her to have fun at the party. And then when I left the party, we were pretty much on 89 with my ride. And she called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat, and she was like, "Hey, where are you? Do you still need a ride home?" And I was like, "No, I'm okay. Like, I'm in the car right now. I'm getting driven home now." But Kiely did not have a set ride home, and I was under the impression that she would either sleep there or find another ride home. And it was not known that anybody was going to give her a ride home. She was not, when she called me, she was not in a car. I could hear the party and many people talking in the background.
Oh, wow. So we don't really have a lot to go on then as far as where she could be. There's no, nothing. So we're just going to keep following this. And it's very possible that maybe somebody did abduct her, that maybe somebody was watching her. I mean, it's just a sad possibility, but my goodness, our hearts. I don't know. Is anything else you'd like to say before we let you go? I know you're busy. I don't want to keep you tied up with us, but I greatly appreciate all your time. Sammy, you're an amazing girl. I know you got a great future ahead of you. Stay strong. What's your final words? If Sammy's out there watching.
And now I have to go rewind it again.
And it was not known that anybody was going to give her a ride home. She was not, when she called me, she was not in a car. I could hear the party and many people talking in the background.
Oh, wow. So we don't really have a lot to go on then as far as where she could be. There's no.
Let me see. Hold on.
She called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat, and she to be driving me home because at the end of the party when I saw her, she was supposed to give me a ride home because I had asked her to give me a ride home because I wanted to stay later. I then realized later in the party that I believe she was drunk, and I knew she was drunk, and so I did not want her to be driving me home, because I know about drunk drivers and all that, and so
Smart.
and I figured she would be staying there, or she would find a ride home, because she's a smart girl. She's smart enough to know, she's smart, and so then I found her as I was leaving the party. I was making sure to find her to tell her that I had another ride home, and that
Yeah, I guess that part there's a little confusing. That she says she tracked her down to look for her, to let her know, hey, I got a ride home. And so then why would Kiely call her a few minutes later to ask where she was if she needed a ride home?
I loved her and I would say bye and for her to have fun at the party. And then when I left the party, we were pretty much.
I mean, that might just be something where she wanted to. I mean, I can't really explain it really, but she just wanted to make sure everybody knew that she said goodbye, and that Let me just make sure.
To be driving me home, because I know about drunk drivers and all that, and so
Smart.
But see, you guys make it turn into something where it's just a huge story, right? I mean, but it doesn't have to mean anything. Yeah, exactly, Ellen. That's the first thought that I had, was that later Kiely called because she didn't remember they had that. She probably said something like, "All right, see you later. I got another ride. Hey, see you later. Hey, good seeing you. And Kylie's just like, just really intoxicated. And then a few minutes later, she's looking, hey, where's Sammy? And then calls her up again. I mean, so people make a huge deal over it. But yes, that is something that is mildly odd just because of what she said. And then a few minutes later, she calls. But why can't you think of a rational reason that might be happening? Can you try doing that every once in a while?
Figured she would be staying there, or she would find a ride home, because she's a smart girl. She's smart enough to know she's smart. And so then I found her as I was leaving the party. I was making sure to find her to tell her that I had another ride home, and that I loved her and I would say bye and for her to have fun at the party. And then when I left the party, we were pretty much on 89 with my ride. And she called me as I was in the car in the passenger seat, and she was like, hey, where are you? Do you still need a ride home? And I was like, no, I'm okay. Like, I'm in the car right now. I'm getting driven home now. But
yeah, so maybe she thought, you know what it could have been too, is like, she says, yeah, I got a ride home, but she thought maybe she was still at the party and that she would still give her a ride home if she was still available. I bet you Sammy wouldn't have said, man, you're wasted. I'm not getting a ride with you. She might have said, well, I'm going to get a ride with somebody else because I'm leaving right now. But then Kiely decided to leave really quickly after that. So here's what I think. Sammy decided to leave the party, and Kiely was like, just moments later was like, oh, wait, I want to go too, and was still checking to see if she'd left yet so that she could be the one that gave her a ride home. Doesn't that make even more sense now?
Kiely did not have a set ride home, and I was under the impression that she would either sleep there or find another ride home. And it was not known that anybody was going to give her a ride home. She was not, when she called me, she was not in a car. I could hear the party and many people talking in the background.
Oh, wow. So we don't really have a lot to go on then.
Right, yeah, but it's still the same.
As far as where she could be, there's no nothing. So we're just going to keep following this, and it's very possible that maybe somebody did abduct her, that maybe somebody was watching
No, she sent a text to her mom saying, hey, can I be there a little bit later?
her. I mean, it's just a sad possibility, but my goodness, our hearts. I don't know. Is anything else you'd like to say before we let you go? I know you're busy. I don't want to keep you tied up with us, but I greatly appreciate all your time. Sammy, you're an amazing girl. I know you got a great future ahead of you. Stay strong. What's your final words? If Sammy's out there watching this right now, just perhaps she's out there watching. If there's anything you could say to Sammy right now, what would you say to her?
It's Kylie, just by the way. But if Kylie's out there watching
I'm
this,
sorry, Kylie. I meant.
yeah,
I apologize.
don't worry.
I just my mind's going 1,000 miles an hour. It's just this is very emotional.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sorry, Kylie.
Thank you,
Kylie.
thank you. Yeah, no, it's totally fine. If Kylie were out here watching this, I would just want you to know we are doing everything to try and find her. We are contacting. We are making this go worldwide. We will find her. We will find what is happening, and we just want her home. We don't want to get anybody in trouble. We just want her home. We love her, and we would do anything to see her again. I personally, I just want to drink a boba with her again and laugh and tell the story. And when I see her, I'm going to absolutely tackle her to the ground, but I'm going to give her the most love that she's ever felt. And I hope she knows she's loved. This whole community is looking for her. The whole world at this point is looking for Kylie. Kylie, if you're out there and you can hear this, please fight. Keep fighting. Don't give up. We are coming. We are working. We will not stop working. I will stay up day and night. I have her completely. We want you home. We just want you home. And yeah.
Very, very good, Sammy. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I'm so sorry the family's going through this. I greatly appreciate your time. You're a beautiful person. You're a beautiful friend. I know you got a bright future ahead of you. Stay strong. Keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you're getting it out there, and I'm just so impressed with you. I'm sure your parents are very proud, and they raised you right. So.
Thank you so much.
Sammy, okay. All right. You take care. And thank you once again for allowing us to have you. All right.
Yeah. So there you go. You know, the thing is right now we're at a situation where if she didn't run away, sadly, the best option at that point is something else that's really bad. Right? So if she didn't run away, and she's still alive, then the only remaining option is something not good. It would be some sort of a trafficking angle at that point. If she's still alive and she didn't run away. So it's a negative also, but then she'd still be alive. But man, just given the timing of everything, she's in a hurry, you guys. Thanks, Janellson. So here's the thing, everybody. I'm going to donate $500 tonight to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and that's going to be from the Freaks here. Because of your generosity, if you'd like to help out, make that less painful for the evening, that'd be great. But I'm going to do it anyways. It's early. We've already done 500 earlier in the month. But I think right now we're going to do the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children because I think it fits. Even if it turns out that her car crashed and she perished in a car crash, I'm still, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is really amazing. So that's what we're going to do here. Hey, thanks, Allie Cake. All right. And I'll show you the email when it comes in, everybody. You don't have to wonder if it's actually happening or not. All right. And the one-timer right there. Same email that I use for the show. It's not hiding anything. Not going to give you my phone number, even though people can find that. It's not hard. And let's say we'll put this right now in honor of Kiely Rodni. There we go. make sure I'm doing it right here. Gotta log in through the secured. Okay. I'm not a robot. There it is. Okay. All right. So there is the on-screen 500 one time. There's the confirmation number right there. Then we're going to go directly to email here. And there it is right there. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Thank you for caring about the kids. And there it is, 500 National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. All right. So there you go, everybody. Showing on the screen, and we did it. So thank you guys very much. And if you would like to help the channel, that'd be fantastic, because it allows us to keep doing that. Sort of a slower type of a night tonight, but that would be awesome. And you can become a channel member. Also helps us do what we're doing. Also helps support my channel. See, the thing is you guys are supporting my channel, and then I take a huge portion, over 50% of the net revenue, to YouTube and send it into various charities throughout the month. And right now we're this month so far $1,000. So let me edit the total number again now. So now we're at 93. Welcome, Shirley Phillips. So 93,000 right there. And we're going to, that's the grand total. Then this year's total is 28,500. And that's a real number. We've donated 28,500 this year. Thank you, LM. And then the ticker that goes down below, got to update that one. And it is now 56. Okay, 56.65. There you go. All right, so we should be all scored away now. We've got so this year so far we've done Texas EquiSearch 5,000, Innocence Project 1,025, Wounded Blue Fund 500, SpecialOps.org 600. RAIN, which is violence against women, that could have been appropriate too, depending on what happened. 4,221. NCMEC 5,665. End the Backlog 500. NCVC, which is another National Center for Victims, $500, and then a DNA fund with 10,500 in it. So that's all because of the generosity of the freaks. You guys are awesome. Without the freaks, we're not doing it. Okay. Now you can also, like I said before, you can always send money into charities on your own. But if you'd like to help out my channel, and thus I'll be sending in money at the end of the month in a bulk form, then that would be great.
EXO.
Thank you. Thank you, Kathy Bartlett and Chrissy. Dan Carr, the legend. A watched pig never boils. All right. So what are some of your guys' your concerns? Notice how when it was at, we had 550 something, but the donation part got boring for them, so they left. Yeah. Yeah, very cool, very cool. All right, so what are you guys' thoughts right now then? I mean, we're kind of in the same place, but I'm actually thinking... All right, so what I was going to say right near the end there was that So Kiely extended her time at the party, right? She sent a text message home, apparently. So I've got other files here. Let me open these up. Thank you, Jennifer Dodson. So scared, chilling clues and Kylie. Let me see what this says.
We just want her home. We're so scared
That's
and
on
we
the
miss
8th.
her so much.
That
And
was
we
from a
love
while
her
ago.
so much. And Kylie, we love you. And if you see this, please just
Thanks,
come
Kristen.
home. I want nothing more than to hug you. And if anybody else out there, if you know where she is, if you know anything about where she might be, if you have any ideas or thoughts, please come forward and share them. And
Okay, then let me go to the other article related to that one. That one was a link inside of another. What's that sound? That's crazy. Okay, so this one says at 6:08 she was seen on the camera. About 6 hours before she disappeared, Kiely visited a business in Truckee, California. She was wearing green Dickie pants and a black... that's weird because I guess those were the green Dickie. Well, they're not on that surveillance shot, though, apparently. So there you go. That's an indication that she changed clothes. So maybe, if the necklace wasn't on her in that picture, maybe because she changed clothes to put on the green Dickie pants later. She was wearing a black grommet belt and black Vans shoes. Detectives located surveillance from a local business in Truckee where Kiely was spotted on 8/5 at 6:08 p.m. And then at 8 o'clock, Kiely, who had graduated early from high school, attends an end-of-summer party. I thought it was later than that, but I don't know. Who knows? This is People magazine. The party soon swelled into a large gathering of nearly 300 people. At 11:30 in the evening, Kiely texts her mother, Lindsay. She says she plans to leave the party in 45 minutes, so 12:15, and will come straight home. I told her to be safe and that I loved her, and she said, "Okay, Mom, I love you too." And then at 12:33, hey, thank you, Tiffany May. And then at 12:33, Kiely's phone pings near the campground and then turns off. So, they said it was near the water, but it pings near there and then it turns off apparently. The last call she is known to make is a call to her family. See, that's different than a call to Sammy, right? There was no indication that anything is wrong. Later that day, Kiely's family reports her missing. See, I don't even think these people have... No, there isn't any outlet that has the true timeline. And the reason is because law enforcement doesn't even have the true timeline. Yeah. August 7th, I don't really care about that. But the stuff later. All I really care about is the timeline of that night. That's it. And here's this other couple that went missing on the same day. Might have to check them out on a different day.
I'm going to start with the photo.
Okay.
You can see she's wearing not a black. This is a photo that, this is a
So there's that one, but now we know she has the white one that she's wearing. Okay, so there's this part here that says wild party. Kiely arrived at a wild end-of-school bash with up to 300 people near the Prosser Family Campground at 8 p.m. The U.S. Sun exclusively revealed that men in their late 20s, I mean, if that's true, this is crazy, right? Were giving out free drugs, including mushrooms and cocaine, to teens at the party. Kiely's friend Sammy Smith shared footage from the Friday night party, which took place in the public woodland area surrounding the campsite. The video shows dozens of teens gathered on the land, surrounded by trees with trash strewn around, according to what appear to be empty bottles of alcohol. Sammy, who claimed she felt uncomfortable when the party got bigger, also told reporters that she and Kiely were drinking from the same containers, doing shots, and went back to her car together to charge Kiely's phone at one point. See, here's what sucks. They didn't give credit, because they got that exact quote from All American Dream Chaser, right? This quote right here. They should have said, according to American Dream Chaser. See, that's the bogus crap that goes on out there, and YouTubers do it all the time. So, right in this situation, they should have given credit to that guy, because that quote came directly from his show. Out of the same containers, doing shots, and went back to her car together to charge Kiely's phone at one point. She left before Kiely, and there have not been any confirmed sightings of her doing drugs at the party or leaving. Kiely's mother, Lindsay Neiman, who posted a heartbreaking video, that's why I had that other link, appealing for her daughter to come home, told ABC News that she last heard from Kiely late on Friday night during the party. Lindsay Rodni Neiman said Kiely texted her saying she was planning to leave a party in 45 minutes and would be coming home, straight home. I told her to be safe and that I loved her and she's okay. And she said okay. Okay, Mom, I love you. Police revealed that her phone last pinged near Prosser Lake around 12:30, it was 12:33, on Saturday, but has been off since her disappearance. Hey, thank you, Super Sleuth. Girl interrupted. Yeah, and my feelings about what's going on here could be totally wrong, everybody. I just think there's no information leading people to be so skeptical of somebody. So there's not enough, okay? And that's where I'm coming from. People need to start slowing down that kind of stuff. There's channels that's all they want to do is demonize somebody right off the bat, because it creates a way cooler sort of like, you see the chat just zooming by when everybody hates somebody. You ever notice that? Later on Saturday, Kiely's family reported her missing, and police opened a missing persons investigation. The following day, the Placer County Sheriff's Office established a tip line. Between the various sheriff office responding, there was 77 personnel assigned to the case. In addition, around more than 100 volunteers met at the local recreation center on Tuesday, where her family is staying in a camper. And they found the burial site with a dog in it. And then the new sweater came out. Is it in here? This one right here. So she was obviously spotted wearing this hoodie here, right? So we don't know if she had it on just for a few minutes, or did somebody give it to her and that's the person who gave her a ride home? Who is somebody else that might have had that one? Because it wasn't hers, right? So somebody let her borrow it. So you would imagine at some point the person would have wanted it back, or that's the person she left with, or there's a lot of ors in there. It seems like it's kind of a little bit of a hippie place, that town, doesn't it? A little bit. Oh, really? So it was hers? Okay. So maybe she had it in her car in the back, and she just threw it on later to be warm. Okay. Where did her mom say that? That's interesting. Well, that's good then. I guess that's good then. So it was just hers and maybe in the back of her car. Okay, hoodie was hers. All right. I don't sit there and dig around on all the little Facebook pages all day. I don't have time. I don't know what that means, Sozo. But yeah, we've got, it's hers. So there you go. You got to have the full sentence or I won't know what you're referring to. Sister I shared a room with. She gave me Huh? What does that have to do with anything, Pam? Yeah, but what about the ABC link? I don't want to do the I can't. I'm not going to play ABC News. They've got like bots all over the place out there. Probably, oh man, they used 5 seconds of my... Is that where she says that the sweatshirt's hers? Is that what you're saying? That's all I needed in the sentence was. Yeah, great. The ABC link talked about the hoodie being hers. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, that would have been a lot quicker if it was just worded like that. Because, see, you guys are 20 seconds behind in the chat. So if I go, hey, what's the number that comes after 10? And then I have to wait like 20 seconds later. I'm already talking about something else. And then somebody goes, 11. Although in that case, I might... Wow, are you guys literally going to type in 11?
I'm fired out of it, 10 down, 15 on the mind, better dung bear on 15, I better dung bear on 15, 20, I better dung bear on 15, better dung bear on 20, down 5, better dung bear on 30, and 30, and 30, 25, better dung bear on 30, you want to put 30, sir, 25, ma'am, you're out, I better dung bear on 25, better dung bear on 30, 30, now 5, I'm 30.
Wow, you guys are so good at following orders. Let me try this one. Send in super chats right now.
I'm fired out of it, 10 down, 15 on the mind, better dung bear on 15, I better dung bear on 15, 20, I better dung bear on 15, better dung bear on 20, down 5, better dung bear on 30, and 30, and 30, 25, better dung bear on 30, you want to put 30, sir, 25, ma'am, you're out. I'm fired out of it, 10 down, 15 on the mind, better
yes, B29, B29, I19, I19, and 20, and 20, and 20, and a G15, and a G15, and an O19, O19. Wow, it worked. Look at that. MM and Alley Cake. Awesome. Now, you know she's going to, Cindy Lynn. 10 minutes from now, Zozo's going to type in 11. Yeah, good bet on that one. Hey, wow. Thanks, everybody. Tamara, what do we got? We got MM, Alley Cake, Low Press, Tamara, Daisy, Shelly Pink, and Mary B. Awkward. Sounds like we got some loud kids running around outside, screaming. Is that a dog or a person? It's hard to tell. Can you guys hear that? I'm actually putting you guys in for the spin. Thanks, LM. Yep. Yeah, I didn't know what that was talking about. Because you guys are like 15 seconds behind. Bingo, Gil! You did it. That's B. Hey, flying monkeys, listen. Well, let's see. What do we look like, anyways, when they call us flying monkeys? Hold on. I think it's from Wizard of Oz, right? There we go. Right there. Yeah. That's awesome. Maybe one of these or something like that. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Flying monkeys and bingo players. Yeah. I remember, I don't think we've ever played bingo once, but that's cool. Well, they all came zipping by. What super chat? I don't see it, Jennifer. One for like hours ago or what? I don't understand. There she is. There's 11. Hey, why don't you just type it in again, Jennifer? I don't have it on my screen. My computer crashed, I think, around that time. I would imagine, anyways, because I don't have it sitting here. Just type it in again. I mean, I don't even remember. How long ago was it? I mean, I remember earlier in the evening, but... I'll see if I can find it. I'm going to hold up the show. Hold on a second. I don't want, you know, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but we're kind of moving around a lot, and we don't do super chats like other people do them. All right, we need a sound effect of flying. I want to have the video though, Jennifer. We need a sound effect. How come I don't see that one right up here though? It's weird. Or was that from earlier? Not sure what time that was. We need a sound effect of flying monkeys and people yelling bingo. Oh yeah. Well, how about we do the flying monkeys from The Wizard of Oz as sort of an animation, and then it sort of cross-dissolves over people playing bingo. You know, like it's sort of like you can see through the monkeys, and then there's these people playing bingo. What do you think of that one? Jennifer, might have to do that one. Oh, so you were talking about it earlier. Okay. Yeah, we were talking about it last night in one of the... I'll make a super chat. Maybe we'll make that one like a huge super chat number where, man, it's just bingo! You know, we'll have some... Maybe I can find an audio of some older person screaming bingo, you know, or some crap, and it'll be like okay. So let's do another poll here. It's going to be just one or two. Okay, I'm not going to even entertain the she ran away on purpose. So here we go. These are the only two choices. Nefarious is any other thing other than her car crashing, okay? So you can put that into... You can even put her running away in that category. Chasing chickens. I think I'm going to save the cold case for tomorrow. How long has this show been going on? Because when it froze up on me, I wasn't sure how long we've been here. Well, you gotta, whatever one really you sort of have a feeling for, go with that one. Yeah, but when you say 50-50, it's not really. You know, you got one that you're a little bit more leaning towards. Go with that one. Can't shake what? Yeah, it's amazing. The number is still so high like that. I was, at the beginning, I was way more onto the crash side, you know, and I kind of go back and forth between abduction or something and the car crashing. You know, there's things that jump in there, right? When you hear that there's these people in their late 20s giving away drugs to people. So maybe they're giving away enough drugs to people, finding that one straggler. And she would have been right in that category because she was there by herself with her car at the end. So that part makes me a little bit nervous for that. Well, one of the issues out there is, you know, when she over here, it's dirt road, so this whole ride here is really slow, and that's like 6 miles, probably driving, you know, 15 miles an hour, unless you're in a hurry, and that's where something could go wrong. But in this area, it's probably slow too. And then it starts speeding up right here. So, I mean, I'll just do like a basic. So, if she left right at that moment, like maybe 28, I mean, maybe she was even sitting in her car and then just started it up right there. In 7 minutes, she could probably get like 3 miles or something, I would think. But here's the thing, is if she could have been anywhere if the phone just died, right? Like the phone actually just ran out of juice. Yeah, so that's 3 miles right there. Just barely right into this area. So maybe, you know, down in this area-ish. And then maybe if you went the other way over here, you know, there's a creek down here. I'm sure they've checked all along that. You would think, anyways. But if she left at 27 or 28 after and started driving, and her phone died, she could have driven anywhere. I mean, she could have driven all the way down here somewhere. I mean, that's the part that's hard about it. And her phone turning off, or, you know, losing power. I don't know why we only have... Vote, everybody, vote. Vote. I mean, more people voted for Biden percentage-wise than this crap, okay? We only got 25% out here. Imagine that, man. "25% of the population in this group right here is only voted." I'm ending it. End the poll. There we go. 127 votes. 64% drove away and crashed. 35 nefarious. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? After all this time, so that means 64% of you don't think that Sammy has anything to do with anything, right? So that. I mean, I'd like to put her name into a poll, but I don't want to, you know, because I'd be angry to look at the numbers, you know. So just purely for that reason, I'm not going to put it up there. But I'll tell you what, if it's higher than that, then that means some of you are lying, right? 64% of you, thus, by saying drove away and crashed, are completely eliminating Sammy from having any negative portion of, like, the reason she's missing. Okay? The other portion would be like, some of you don't, but then a lot of you might, but you think she was abducted at the party. I don't think she's covering up anything, Shay. See, here's the thing. Here's the difference. I know for a fact, because a person told me, that they're not allowed to say certain things that they know. So is that covering up, or is that just doing what the police told them not to say. So there might be certain people that they saw, and they've already mentioned that, but they can't say it out in the public. So if you want to call that covering it up, I don't agree with you. But she's not covering up anything that would point to something that related to her. That's just you wanting it to be that way. Because there's nothing she said that indicates that, okay, here's the thing. Is she covering something up? I don't know. I can't tell you 100%. But what I can tell you is there's no evidence in anything that she said that she's covering something up. Now, you might want to take a wording of something and assign it to that meaning, but that doesn't mean you're correct at all. We've come up with counter reasons that are better than the nefarious reason, because they're not even okay. So let's see. She was at the party. She told her she had a ride home, and then she got a call saying, "Hey, do you need a ride home?" Wow, woo, wow. Well, tell me how that could possibly mean that there's some negative interference, or whatever you want to say that Sammy was part of. How do you put that in there just based on that? It doesn't mean anything. And we just came up with a better reasoning a few minutes ago that she she goes, yeah, I'm gonna get a ride, and maybe Kiely wasn't quite ready to go yet, and then Kiely go, wait, I'm gonna go, and then Sammy, it was just a moment later, like 2 minutes later, and then calls Sammy, hey, where are you? Oh, yeah, I got a ride with somebody else. She's like, oh, okay, shit, because I was just about to leave too, and but her friend doesn't think that she would have driven in that condition, but nobody knows. People do dumb things when they're drunk. Really, Gray? Really? I mean, listen, I've never done anything stupid when I've drank before, okay? Never. Not one time. Well, other than the time when... well, I already told the one where I was sitting on a toilet for 4 hours and came out when they put the chairs on top of the tables and were vacuuming the floor, but... Yeah, we have that one. Oh yeah, there was another one too where I was at a bar and this guy kept buying me shots of Bush Mills, and I think he was and I don't know. And then I tried to go to another bar, and guess what? I was on my all fours to try to get in the front door, and they didn't let me in. What a shock, huh? Then I crawled all the way back over to the other bar and curled up on the floor, and my wallet went missing too. The whole thing, the whole night was an absolute joke. And then the person, let's see, one of my friends just threw me into a cab, threw the cab driver some money, and had them take me home. And somehow, miraculously, I got home and I was able to get up the stairs, and I got into the house and, passed out. But man, that wasn't a very good night. I can barely remember any. I remember some of the stuff earlier in the evening. And here's the funny part about the story, other than what's already been funny, was that my car was parked. It was a Jeep Cherokee. It was parked on the street down there. And the next day, I didn't know where I actually had no idea where I had parked that car because I just didn't remember anymore. So I had my brother Andy take me downtown, and we drove up and down all the different streets because I didn't even know the name of the bar. I didn't know anything. So we just kept going up and down the streets, and then, oh, there it is. Yeah. See what happens sometimes when you just drink a little too much? I should have had a clue when every time I breathed next to a flame, it would actually look like a dragon. But, see. If Sammy is the one who went missing, people would be blaming Kiely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. And the reason Sammy's almost like she's just taking all the blows for the whole community, because not one other kid has come forward to tell anybody what they saw. And they're probably been told not to by law enforcement and parents. So, she's taking the blame because she was basically, I think if she didn't go on the one show to do the interview and wasn't really sort of the face out there to try to get other kids to talk, it might actually be better that she's come forward, because I think the speculation angle would go way higher. Why isn't she talking? How dare her not? You know how people are. We got such a huge Facebook, YouTube is a wild community of holier than thou people. It's like everybody wants to tell you what they wouldn't have done because they are so much better than everybody else. Yeah. Yeah, that's the comment people are talking about. Yeah. That's what we were saying the other day. Something very similar. Yeah, I think she should just stay out of the news at this point. For sure. But what is that? God. Do you guys hear that sound out there? Well, the water's right next to the park. So, yeah, I mean, from here, you get down to the park in 2 minutes. Yeah. That's why they're kind of looking in this lake here. And she very well could be in the lake. It could have been that her car went into the water and it drifted somewhere and then went down into a deeper area that they just haven't been able to see yet. And maybe, just maybe, Adventures with Purpose has a better, it'd be shocking if they had a better system, but like they know how to use it better because that's all they ever do. So hopefully when they get out there, they'll be able to, at least clear the lake. Well, they could have. They've used different equipment. They may have cleared it. And maybe they're going to be taken out there to go search other places. And like I've said from the beginning, these ones over here, because you got to just picture it. Here we go. We got a drunk girl who is now late and was going to leave the party, it sounds like, because she was about to give Sammy a ride. So we know she was just about ready to leave, right? That's something we can just infer from her calling Sammy and saying, hey, do you still need a ride? Nope, I'm already on the way home. Ooh, okay, great. Because, you can just tell that she was looking to go home now, too, because she's even a little bit late. She was supposed to already be home. So then she gets in her car and she really is trying to make time and gets in the car and, who knows what happened. The phone dies because the phone was almost dead anyways, right? And then she calls Sammy up and it probably took that last bit of juice out of the phone. And then the phone dies right after minutes later, perhaps. I'm not going to say it's absolutely certain that the phone died because of water. All right, I'm not going to say that. Yeah, I don't do rumors and then speculate. Yeah, that's like that's the ancient aliens guy at that point. Yeah. Do we still have him? Where is that guy? There he is. Yeah, that's this guy right here. Yeah, I said that. I told her that yesterday, True Montour, that they couldn't go to the bottom to get the silt over. They didn't want to mess it up. So maybe they are waiting for somebody like them to come by to actually do sonar and whatnot. But huh? What does that even mean? Yeah, I've got the... so the Ancient Aliens thing works like this. They always say, if you watch that show, it's just the most ludicrous show on television where it talks about things like, there's this mystical stone. And if it's true that this stone came from aliens millions of years ago, is it also possible that this stone could have been used in previous civilizations? And if that's true, could it then be that we are now talking on this phone because of that rock that those aliens left here 1,000,000 years ago? Okay, well, I guess, that's what, when you start talking about, like, if this, and then this, and then this, and then that, and then this, and then if that's true, then this one and this one, starting off on a ludicrous premise to begin with. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you're already starting off on the craziest place in the world, and then you expound on that theory over and over again. And it's like, what a waste of time that is, man. Gray. Is it possible one of no, I'm not even going to do it. I can't do it. Let's see. Maybe Kiely wasn't actually at the party at the end. Okay. Here comes the conspiracies. Like where she was, and that's why Kiely called Sammy asking about a ride. She wasn't, though. That's not what's happened, Rainbow Kitty. That's not what happened. Kiely called Sammy to see if she still needed a ride. That means she was at the party, and she was, looking to go home now. Yeah. It did, Blake Star. It did. I stick to what I said from day one. She's in the water. Yeah, well, that was always the most likely option. It kind of shifts a little bit when you hear that there's 28-year-old people at the party giving away drugs, but that could have just mean that she was even more intoxicated and drove the car right into the water near the lake there. But you would think if she didn't drive right down the ramp, there would have been tire tracks leading right to the water. So if you went down the ramp, the scope would just be right around in this area right here, and you'd think they would have found it by now. It's not a huge lake. Look at the cars there. Just kind of, that's not really huge. Actually, I'll tell you right here, miles-wise, that is only a quarter of a mile across. Not even that. It's 0.22, very short. It's not a big lake at all. And the entire length of the lake, probably 3 miles maybe? Not even that. Yeah, not even that. 1.59 miles all the way across there. That's very tiny. It's a very small little reservoir there. Yeah, and I guess it's only 60 feet deep too, so. And it's interesting how you can see the shelf there. There's probably a pretty big drop out there. That could also be in these satellite images, silt kind of floating in the water as the waves maybe came in, but could also be the ground under there where then it gets deeper. This one definitely looks like that would continue. Well, let's look at other times of the year. Other years, actually. So there might be ones where that's an island. Let's see if that happened. I thought I saw something there. There you go. See, that's April 2015. There's the island, and so the other side's going to look the same. So if we go to that, so just keep your eye on, here's the, look at where the ramp is right here. So watch this. There's the ramp in June of 2021, right there at the end. And this one here is in October. It's right here, but that last one we were looking at in 2015, it's way out there. And so in this one, it's even shorter across, smaller. Wouldn't that be crazy if, remember that one, I can't remember where it was, but remember that lake that was, the water level dropped and they started finding all these bodies? Some of them had been weighed down and dumped in there. Murder victims. It's pretty crazy. And see, that's how big a car would be right there. So let's say you put that car in here. How easy would that be to find if it's at the bottom down there? Because it's really tiny. See this little tiny object? You put that in the water, it could be all over. Now they care quite a bit, Patrick. You're incorrect there. Hopefully you were just being sarcastic. I thought I saw a car, but just a spaceship. That's pretty good. I gotta give credit to that one. Man, Amy, you should join the channel. Your humor fits right in. You know what I mean? That is exactly the type of humor we deploy here. The sarcasm. Don't you guys think? Don't you guys agree right there? Hey, Graz, what's going on? Hey, join the Flying Monkeys and Bingo players, okay? And that is B19, everybody. B19, make sure to write that down. Yes, I-27. I-27. Yep. Are you really, Blake Star? That's weird. You must have that one. Bingo! Man, look at that. Mixed Mom has a bingo. That's amazing. I don't even care, TTJO. You know what's crazy about TTJO right there? She went out and looked it up to make sure that I had the right numbering sequence on the BINGO part. Wow. I'm just kidding you. And you're being serious. I'm looking at it. Here we go. Everybody look at it. Here it is. B, it only looks like it only goes to 15, and then this one goes to 30, and this one goes to probably 45, I would imagine, and then 60 and 75. Wow. Thank you so much. So either you only have two possibilities here, TTJO. You either are somebody who goes and plays bingo, and that really does fit you, or you were somebody that's so obsessed that you went out and looked up to see if I was saying the right numbers when I was saying bingo, like B19. Well, great, there really isn't a 19. Now, see, what happens is the bingo cards, you go from 1 to 15, all right? And what you said was 19. Therefore, you were incorrect. Thank you for sleuthing out the bingo numbers. I'll make sure to get that right next time. Okay, here we go. B12. All right. I-27. N-41. Oh, do you really? 12 cards at a time, man. You're crazy. Do you win? I mean, you know what's weird about bingo is there's no skill to it, right? I mean, it's just, yeah, you sit there and it's just luck. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like playing slot machines or something. Dan got boing instead. Oh, yeah? Yeah. I pay 12 cards at a time. Well, that might take skill, but the winning part isn't. Right? Well, Gray, it has to do with odds. Now, if the numbers showed up before, you probably don't want to pick. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for me tonight. I think I've been on here for 2 hours and some odd minutes. I can't tell for sure. 2 hours and 1 minute. We'll get to the crazy cold case tomorrow. All right, unless there's breaking news in this one. But I thought it was interesting. I thought we were useful tonight by putting the case in a more realistic light based on the wording that was said, don't you think? Because everything that she said, if you look at it rationally, it made way more sense. She just might not have explained it in the way that you wanted. So I thought it was useful, and hopefully Adventures with Purpose come in. I wish they were a 501c. I'd probably send them money, but I'm not. You know, they get a ton of money from their. They got a huge following, and they bring in lots of money on their shows. So with the anytime. You'll play bingo with me anytime. Yeah, I thought it was just kind of, going through that. Don't you feel a little bit more comfortable? Like especially, there might be stuff that Sammy can't say, but I think the story that she told, even though it's some things you go, oh yeah, that's a little bit weird. Well, when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. It makes sense. You could actually look at it. There was two parts, maybe that were a little contradictory, but when you actually think about it, like for example, there was, I think one of the parts was she got out of the car. They were in their car, and they decided that she was going to get a ride, and then she gets out of the car and then looks for another ride. Well, that's because they were in the car for a long time. Remember, they were in the car drinking, doing shots, sharing drinks, and then they were charging their phones, talking about stuff, and then these other people came and sat in the car. So they probably, right when they got in the car charging the phone, she's like, hey, can I get a ride home? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, we'll do that. And then they started drinking. And then Kylie's just like really intoxicated. And then they get out of the car and they go back to the party, but then that's when Sammy started to secure another ride home because she didn't feel safe getting a ride with Kiely. And then when it came time for Kiely to leave, she told, Sammy to leave. When Sammy was about to leave, she told Kiely, hey, I'm about to take off. I'm gonna leave now. And then maybe and said, okay, bye. And then three or 4 minutes later is probably when Kiely goes, wait, I'm gonna go too. And they called her to make sure, hey, where are you at? Oh, I'm already on my way home. Oh, okay, cool. I gotta go, I gotta go home too, type of thing. Who knows? But here's the thing. When she called Sammy to see if she still needed a ride, what does that tell you about the disposition of Kiely? It doesn't tell me that she wasn't going to drive. It tells me that she was intending to drive even though she was highly intoxicated, right? And so then we think that it's possible she got in the car and started driving. Does that make sense? Because why would she call her to say, hey, do you still need a ride? That means she wants to still give her a ride home. See, that's the kind of deduction, that sort of thing that you can do. And, we are basing that on Sammy's wording. Right, see, there you go. See, Melvina is going to be one of the people that doesn't think it happened. So we have to do a whole show on the theories. Well, let's pretend that Kiely didn't call Samantha. Okay, and that's a fake call. Okay, now we got to talk about... Yeah, I'm not doing that one. There's plenty of other channels that'll sit there and spend 3 hours talking about what you just said. They'll go, true. How do we know she called? And it's just, okay. You know, what do you do at that point? Nothing. Yeah. And it could be a sort of a combination too, though, right? She was going to drive home, and maybe some knight in shining armor with quotes around it said, "Hey, you look like you've had too much to drink. Hey, I'll tell you what. I'll drive you home, and my friend, he'll follow us to make sure that you make it home, and your car will be there and everything, okay?" And they all get into the car. She hands over the keys, and something really bad happens after that. See, those kind of things are in there as well. But it does look like that she was intending to drive, right? Yeah, well, the Jed Hall case, that's what we predicted, though, Zozo. Remember that? We all thought that he killed himself. We didn't know where he was because we didn't have the last phone ping information like the police did. All right, here we go, everybody. Stupid. Whoops. Whoops. Mom. That's it? Yeah. Wow. Unbelievable. I heard man, like a reggae guy saying man. Man. Oh, I didn't think that at all. That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about, Zozo. That's what I'm saying. You do the fancy story in your head, and that's what you view the information to help support the story instead of actually like, what is really going on here? God. Thank you, though, for admitting it. Really appreciate it. But you keep everybody on your toes. You know what I'm saying? On their toes. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys very much for supporting the channel tonight. Thank you to... Now we're going to spin for 2 notebooks. Kristen Cure, Jan Allison, the Velvet Army, Jan Allison... well, the thing is, if you bought a notebook and you win, I'll send you a mug. Okay. I mean, if you bought one if it's on this show, though. Okay. All right, so they're Kristen Cure, because Kristen Cure bought a notebook. So if she wins a notebook, I'll just send her the notebook she bought and a mug at the same time. Okay. Jan Allison, the Velvet Army, Jan Allison, Kathy Friedenmaker, Claire Mack, Mrs. Ryan, Alifair M, Kristen Cure, Ozzy Trisha, Fishing in the Dark, Olivia Dorado, Sleuth and Sandals, Kit Kat, Cindy Leon, Tamara, not today, but tomorrow, Scott Holland, Jan Allison, Allie Cake, Richard, LM, Kathy Bartlett, Chrissy, Dan Carr, Jennifer Dotson, Chrissy, Tiffany May, Girl Interrupted, MM, Allie Cake, Low Press, Tamara, Daisy, Shelly Pink, Mary B. Awkward, LM, and Chrissy, and then Gil. Then on PayPal we had Kristen Cure, Your Gypsy, TTJO, let me get that in there. These came in later. And by the way, we, as a channel, we donated $500 from the income from the channel to National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, if you missed that. In honor of Kiely, just in case, if there's a chance that she was abducted or something. But either way, she's missing at this point. And then, oh, cool. Then Brian Joe. All right. So there you go. Let me put that in there. And yes, you can get your Yarg. All right. Let me get the your address put in there really quick, though. Hold on. got that. And thank you. And then looks like Tinley Erickson. Thanks, Gray. Great show. Well, thank you. All right, Brian Joe, we'll be sending you one. I'm going to sign it Yarg. Actually, I don't think I'll sign it Yarg, but yeah. But you know what I'll do? I'll send you a signed copy of the email I got back from the woman you love, you know, the what do you call her? Communications coordinator, something like that. God, it's so hot in there. I need to turn on the air conditioning. But anyways, thank you guys very much. Let's do the spin here. Thank you for playing bingo tonight, everybody. Really appreciate it. You know. And let's do the wheel.
Huh? It's a house!
The Lizard Eye. Everybody's favorite music. Everybody's favorite music playing right now. And here we go. For notebook number 1. Unless it's one of the people who bought notebooks tonight. Oh my god, it snuck over to Claire Mack, who I think bought something or sent me something yesterday. I don't even remember. So Claire Mack, if you're out there, make sure to send me your address and I'll send you a notebook. Here we go. It's great music, Ozzy Trisha. You're just clueless. Look at Brian Joe, look at! I knew it. I knew he was going to win that one. So Brian Joe gets a whole setup. He gets the freak heart mug with a sketch and the notebook. Isn't that awesome? Very cool, very cool. There we go. I can send you, let's see. Well, I'll send you a what mug do you want, Brian? You want the, It's a House mug? It's a house!
It's a house!
You want that one?
Huh?
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp. You know, that's just one step above stupid.
It's a house! Huh?
Alright. Well, alright, there you guys. Do you want that? Which one do you want, Brian? The mugs. Do you want the It's a House or the Freak Heart sketch? It has a heart and then that little sketch that's on the... You want It's a House. Okay, good. All right, it's a little bit more, but you know, we'll got it. You sent extra. Actually, you sent 5 more than the actual notebook, so that'll do. That'll work, man. All right, everybody. Thank you guys very much for being here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. And if there's no breaking news, we probably won't be talking about the Kiely case, because today there was just like so much wild crap going on. I think it was important to take a rational look by the people who like to look at things rationally and come up with reasonable discussion and meaning by various statements made. And I feel like we're in a better place right now. Like she either, like I have no doubt in my mind that she was either abducted or her car went and crashed somewhere and it wasn't some weird thing with her friend, okay? I don't have that feeling whatsoever. So, all right, everybody, thank you very much. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there. And a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5, and a 6. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now.
That's right.
And during this whole time, I have not seen
Debunkle
one
the
person
Junkle.
that is a
Crime dissector, a thug projector.
I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get you on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray's gonna give another lecture.
Hey, what happened? Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Reconnector,
And I'm always gonna be a puppet protector.
Cool deflector, interceptor,
And I mean a specter with a vector.
on his specter. With all respect, y'all. Just remember, I've a temple fucking check ya.
I have no agenda. I'm a pretender.
And I'll serve it to you straight without the
Blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work.
All right, everybody. Jay, thank you all for being here so much. It was an absolutely fantastic show. I tell you what, the other time when I was
Would you just be? God. My God, nobody wants you to go on rambling on about your stories. Well, yeah, what were you going to say anyways?
I don't remember, Gray.
I'll forget it. All right, we will see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there.
You're not very nice, Gray.
Wow, that sounded like a computer dying. Or maybe a cat that had its legs squished under a car. All right, see you guys later. Wait, I better... That was a joke, everybody. I don't want you... Did you hear Gray? He said he was going to squish at the cat. He's a sociopath. Oh, God. I didn't even think of that. All right, see you later.